It's great to see some our old alumni and colleagues and friends of Dr. Sangyani. You probably knew Dr. Lee better than I did and spent far more hours with him, but I am honored also to be here to present a remark from our school, Princeton Theological Seminary, who is dear to Dr. Lee's heart, and also we want to remember him very well. I also had Dr. Lee as my professor, and I also had Dr. Insuk Lee as my professor. And Dr. Lee, oftentimes during his lectures or speeches, would go on short excursions. Sometimes it wasn't short. Well, one of the times that I remember the most of Dr. Lee as he was teaching our systematic theology one-on-one class. We had about 300 students sitting in the lecture hall as he stood there. He was talking about the Holy Spirit and the works of the Holy Spirit. And in the middle of his lecture, he would step off the lectern, and we knew something else was coming our way. And I remember him. He said, "I know this has nothing to do with the lecture, but to be a great pastor, you must know when to leave and show up." We were all scratching our heads because it really did have nothing to do with the lecture. But he then went on to teach us, to be a great pastor, you have to show up. And you have to show up at one's funeral. When one passes away, whether that be your congregant or a friend or a colleague, you have to show up. Well, we're all here. And I know that there are many among friends and colleagues and alumni, students of Dr. Lee, who are showing up right now in spirit, in their prayers, to remember the legacy and the memories of Dr. Lee. 우리가 오랫동안 깊이 사랑했던 가족이나 친구를 잃을 때 우리는 우리의 감정을 마비시킬 정도로 커다란 슬픔에 빠질 수 있습니다. 우리가 사랑하는 사람은 우리의 한 부분이기 때문입니다. 지금 우리의 생각, 우리의 느낌, 그리고 우리의 행동은 우리가 사랑하는 사람들과 함께 공동으로 결정하며 만들어온 삶의 중요한 부분들이기 때문입니다. 이들은 모두 우리의 마음속에 살고 있는 사람들입니다. 이상현 박사님도 이제 우리의 마음속에 살고 있는 분이십니다. 그래서 그들이 죽을 때 우리의 한 부분도 함께 죽습니다. 이것을 바로 슬픔, 아픔, 고통이라고 말할 수 있습니다. 그러나 우리가 그를 떠나보낼 때 그가 진정으로 우리의 member인 것을 알게 되며 우리가 그를 remember, 기억할 때 그는 우리의 영적 여행의 안내자가 됩니다. So our beloved Dr. Sangyam Lee has now become one of these guides on a spiritual journey. And may we remember him and remember him well. His life, his stories, his teaching, his legacy that he leaves with us in our personal lives as well as our communal lives. Dr. Lee's passion, wisdom, and quirkiness will remain with us, especially those of us who are associated with Princeton Theological Seminary. Our school community grieves and mourns with the Lee family for their loss, as it is our loss as well. But we also celebrate Dr. Lee's contributions to our intellectual scholarship and leadership, especially among the Asian American colleagues and students. We're very thankful to have known Dr. Sangyam Lee. Our deepest condolences to Dr. Insuk Lee, Sai, and all of the Lee family.